Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going deep on a young Spanish footballer, Raúl Asensio del Rosario, playing for Real Madrid. We're using his Spanish Wikipedia page as our guide, so let's see what we can dig up.
Well, right off the bat, his quick rise is pretty remarkable. From where he started to playing La Liga, it's been fast.
Right, it's a real football fairy tale. Born in 2003 in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, started with UD Las Palmas, that's where he honed his skills. Can you imagine having that talent so young? He was only 14 when he decided to move across the country, join Real Madrid's youth academy.
You have to remember that academy is no joke. Real Madrid's system is famous, producing huge names in football like Casillas, Raul, and many more. Just getting in is a big deal, let alone making it to the first team.
Yeah, it's like jumping into the deep end of the talent pool. But his Wikipedia page shows he didn't just survive, he thrived. The 2022-23 season, he's playing for Real Madrid C in the Tercera Federación, that's the fifth tier of the Spanish league system. Then, bam, next season, promoted to Real Madrid Castilla, the reserve team, playing in the Primera Federación, the third tier. What a jump.
A huge leap in competition shows the coaches saw something special, they knew he could handle it, and he definitely delivered.
And it gets even better. November 2024, he debuts for the main Real Madrid team in La Liga. Fifth tier to one of the top leagues in just 2 seasons. That's not just progress, that's a rocket.
Amazing, right? Shows his talent and how hard he works. And he didn't just show up, he contributed. In his debut against Osasuna, he even got an assist, helping Real Madrid win 2-0.
Not bad for a defender. That's what caught my eye too, he's a defender.
Yeah.
But he's already contributing offensively at the top level. Let's look at those stats. As of January 3rd, 2025, he'd played 33 matches for Real Madrid C, 45 for Castilla, and 12 for the main team. Consistent playing time, which is so important for a young player.
For sure. The numbers show constant progress, growing confidence. But it's not just about the matches, it's the impact he makes. And that assist in La Liga, that's a statement. He's not just there to defend, he wants to create scoring chances.
Okay, so we have this defender moving up fast, playing lots of games, even getting assists in La Liga. He's clearly exceeding expectations. But here's where it gets interesting. In the references on his Wikipedia page, there's a nickname for him. El Nuevo Sergio Ramos. The new Sergio Ramos. That comparison from planetariamadrid.com back in December 2024 says a lot.
It does. Sergio Ramos was a legend, a Real Madrid defender, known for his defense, leadership, and he could score goals. A real force. To be compared to him so young is a huge compliment. Shows what people expect from Asensio.
Yeah, it's like saying, this kid can change the game. And don't forget, his first La Liga start was November 24th, 2024, against Leganes. Real Madrid won 3-0, and Asensio was praised for his performance. We saw that on BernabeuDigital.com, same day as the match. He's not just getting chances, he's using them and impressing everyone watching.
He seems to have that knack for rising to the occasion. Really important for any player who wants to make it at a club like Real Madrid. So we have this promising young defender making waves in La Liga, being compared to one of the greats. What kind of player are we looking at? What are his strengths, weaknesses, and potential?
Well, from what we've seen, he seems to have everything you'd want in a central defender. He's tall, strong, good in the air, the kind of player you want as the anchor of your defense.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about how he's willing to go forward, contribute to the attack, like with that assist in La Liga. It's not just running forward, though. That pass that led to the goal shows he really understands the game, has vision. Pretty impressive for a young defender.
It's like he knows where his teammates will be. But you mentioned strengths and weaknesses. Are there any areas where he needs to improve to really reach his potential?
It's tough to say for sure, just based on reports and stats, but one thing that separates good defenders from great ones is decision-making. Knowing when to hold back, when to step up, when to tackle, those split-second decisions make all the difference at that level.
Right. One wrong move, one hesitation, and that could be the difference between a clean sheet and a goal.
Exactly. As Asensio plays more against top competition, improving his decision-making will be really key.
So thinking about his potential, what roles do you see him playing in the future? We've mostly talked about him as a central defender. Could he play other positions?
That's an interesting thought. One possibility is that he becomes a ball-playing center back, someone who is a solid defender but can also start attacks, distribute the ball well, and even join in the build-up.
Like the quarterback of the defense, setting the pace, making those key passes that get the attack going.
Exactly. That role is so important in modern football. Teams want to build possession from the back. Think about Virgil van Dijk or David Alaba, world-class defenders and great passers, playmakers from defense.
So Asensio could fit into that mold. Anything else? Any other positions where his skills would work?
Since he likes going forward, he could maybe develop into a more attacking fullback. If he works on his crossing and dribbling, he could be a real threat on the flanks.
Like those fullbacks who are practically wingers, right?
Yeah.
Adding width, sending in crosses, even scoring goals,
Yeah.
like Danny Alves or Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, exactly. They're not just defenders, they're a big part of the attack, causing problems from those wide positions.
So we have a potential ball-playing center back or an attacking fullback. Exciting possibilities. But let's go back to that Sergio Ramos comparison. What do you think Asensio needs to do to really live up to that nickname, to become a legend like Ramos?
Well, remember, Ramos wasn't just a great defender. He was a leader, a fighter, never backed down, inspired his teammates. He had a certain presence on the field.
He was a true captain, a leader, and he scored important goals, too.
Right. So for Asensio to reach that level, it's not just copying Ramos. He needs to find his own identity, his own way to lead and inspire, combine his talent with that something extra that separates good players from truly great ones.
He needs to write his own story in the Real Madrid history books. You know, it's interesting how Asensio's story is similar to Real Madrid's history. They're known for nurturing young talent and making them part of their winning ways. It's like a tradition passed down.
It's true. Real Madrid has a long history of developing top players. And with Asensio, it feels like we're seeing the next chapter of that legacy happening right now.
It's like a young tree being planted in the rich soil of Real Madrid's history with the potential to grow huge. But it's also a very demanding place. The pressure to win, what fans expect, the competition, it's intense.
Definitely. To succeed at Real Madrid, you need more than talent. You need mental toughness, resilience, and the ability to handle all that pressure that comes with playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world.
It's a pressure cooker, but it's also where champions are made. And that brings us back to Asensio's potential. Can he handle it? Can he become a key player for Real Madrid? Can he create his own path to greatness?
Those are the questions that will keep us watching his career. It's what makes his story so interesting. We're seeing the beginning of something potentially special, and the possibilities are wide open.
It's like we're at the start of a football epic. We can't wait to see how it all unfolds. But we've been focused on Asensio as an individual, his potential as a player. What about his impact on the team? Could he be the missing piece that helps Real Madrid get back to their dominant era in Spain and in Europe?
Now, that is a really interesting question. It adds another layer to this story. Could Raul Asensio be more than just a talented player? Could he be the spark that brings the team success, a leader who inspires greatness in his teammates?
It's a question only time will answer. But it gives us even more reason to follow his journey closely. As we wrap up this part of our deep dive, one thing is clear to me.
What?
Raul Asensio is more than just a talented young player. He's a symbol of hope. He shows the endless possibilities in football. His journey is inspiring to anyone who dares to dream big and works hard to reach their goals.
Well said. That's a great point to end on.
It really makes you think, seeing a young player like him go from where he started to playing at this level, and to think, this is just the beginning for him.
Yeah, exactly. There's still so much room for him to grow and improve. It'll be interesting to see how his style changes, how he gets even better technically, and how his understanding of the game develops as he gets more experience. It's almost like we're seeing him evolve as a player right in front of us.
You know, it makes you realize how important Real Madrid's youth academy has been to their success. They're really good at finding young talent and fitting them into their winning system. It's like a machine that keeps producing amazing players generation after generation.
It shows how committed they are to developing players from within. They could easily just buy famous players, but they know it's important to build a strong base, starting from the ground up. And it feels like they've found another gem with Asensio. They have a potential star, and they're giving him the chance to shine.
And he's not just playing for any team, he's playing for Real Madrid, a club that's all about winning, with a winning mentality. It's a place that expects the best, where there's a lot of pressure, but it's also a place where champions are made.
Absolutely. It's high pressure, but it's also a test. The players who do well in that environment, who can handle the expectations and the attention, those are the ones who become legends.
Speaking of legends, that nickname, El Nuevo Sergio Ramos, keeps coming back to me. That's a tough act to follow. Ramos wasn't just a great defender, he was a leader, a fighter. He represented the spirit of Real Madrid. If Asensio could even be a little bit like that, he'll be an incredible player.
But it's not just about being like Ramos. Asensio needs to find his own place on the team. his own way to be great, while helping Real Madrid succeed. That's what I'm most excited to see. How will he change and grow? What kind of leader will he be? What will he achieve with this legendary club?
It feels like we're at the beginning of an exciting story in football. We have the talented young player, the famous setting of Real Madrid. Now we wait to see what happens next.
And that's the best part, isn't it? The anticipation, the not knowing, the endless possibilities. That's what keeps us coming back to football, wanting to see what happens next.
So to sum it all up, we've explored the incredible journey of Raul Asensio del Rosario. He's a young footballer who's already making a name for himself at one of the biggest clubs in the world. We've looked at his stats, his potential, and Real Madrid's amazing history. We've talked about his strengths, what he needs to work on, and the different directions his career could go. But ultimately, his future is still unknown. Only time will tell if he lives up to expectations, if he becomes a key player for Real Madrid, if he achieves greatness.
One thing is for sure, though. His story reminds us that in football and in life, anything is possible if you have the talent, the dedication, and the belief in yourself.
Well said. And on that note, we'll leave you with this. Keep an eye on Raul Asensio del Rosario. He's a player with a bright future, and we can't wait to see what he does next. This has been The Deep Dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep the passion for the beautiful game alive.